hey, 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 hey. I am always running late these days. Hey, everybody. Thank you. As usual, thank you for coming and spending time with me because you could be anywhere else, but you're here with me. So, hola, hello. I will not uh, keep you waiting, but I thought this was an interesting topic. So, I'm going to jump into the chat so that I don't miss anything. But do 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 do. Hopefully, I'm not basic instinking anybody. I don't think so. But that would be good. Good sizzle reel, I guess. But let me get my life together and get into this. So, hi everybody who's joining. Let me get in here. This is going to be an interesting topic because we are going to talk about sex, and we're going to talk about why being single is ruining my sex life. I thought that was a funny topic. At least I thought it was a funny subject title because I don't know if that's what people anticipated when I said I was going to talk about sex. And there's so many things to talk about. So, hey everybody, hey Angie, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So much to discuss. Please be active in the chats. I love when people are active because I want to hear your thoughts. Um, so, let me start by saying this. I have been counting how long it has been since I've had relations. And I have not had relations since I left Phoenix, Arizona, and stopped living with my now ex-fiance, who you all know, but I've stated I will not say his name. So that was on March the 14th. So it has been 5 months, one day. And if you know me, you know I love to count down days and months and years. So it's been 5 months, one day since I have not had relations. And it's been interesting is not the right word. It's been a struggle to say the least. I think it really became more of a struggle once we weren't together. It wasn't a struggle when we were still officially together. When we're still officially together, I knew essentially when he was supposed to come. And so I was like, listen, I know he's coming at this time. And so it's on like Donkey Kong, right? Like I was going to be doing the most, slap it, flip it, rub it down. Oh no, right? Like bell, do, do, up. And then once we separated, I was like, ah, shit. Not this shit again. Because it is such an emotional thing for me. It is not something I take lightly. And it is so easy for you to jump into the arms of another man or another woman once a relationship was over. But my reaction once the dust had settled was kind of like, ah, shit. So here I've been having relations with the same person for almost 3 years. And now I have to go back and redo this process. Like, I don't want to do this. Nor did I just want to slip and fall onto some old pin. I did not want to do that either because I understand for myself what an emotional thing that is. And it's just like when you are just having sex to have sex, it's very different than when there's emotions tied to it. Like I'm 43 years old. Like I'm not just having sex to having sex. I'm having sex because I want to enjoy it. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I want to do it over and over and over and over again with the same person. You know, you throw a different person in there every once in a while, but generally with the same person. And now, not only am I just trying to date again, Now I'm trying to find someone I can date who I'm interested enough and they're interested in enough that we can take it there, and then that's a process. But then I could go back to my past. But then if I go back to my past, am I digging up something? Like, it was a whole thing. And so I literally was like, oh shit. So now I'm not in a relationship, and now I'm going to be single, which means I'm not going to have sex. And how's that going to work? Because again, I could have done the no sex, knowing that I was still in a relationship long distance. But now that I was just free and my cootie cat was free, now I was like, fuck. I really got to try to do this thing again. And I don't want to. Like, again, if you've watched the show, you know, I want to go straight to a relationship because I think I'm at a place where, what is the sense of having sex if there's nothing tied to it? Listen, I am no Virgin Mary. I have had lots of relations in my life. Enough of it in my life. And I know that it's better when it's tied to something other than an exchange of bodily fluid. Because to me, there's a trust component when you're having sex with someone. You want to trust them with your deepest, darkest desires. Right? Like, I don't want that. That's not what I'm looking for. That's a waste of time and energy and all of the things that women have to do. Listen, all the things that I have to do as a woman to prepare for, there's a lot going on. There is the waxing or the shaving or the nairing. There is the making sure that you've done your pH balance and your pH balance is right. If you take it in other areas, there's the other things that you have to do to make sure that that area is right. There's a whole process. You don't show up at somebody's door like, here I am, and take my vagina. That's just not, at least that's not how it works for me. So I have to do all of this prep work that has to go into having sex that I'm not interested in. Just, there's more to that. And so being single is ruining my sex life. I don't like it. I don't like it. And trust me, I have considered going back to past penis. Highly considered it. Was on the table, looked at it for a while and said, girl, I know about that. Because I don't want my emotions tied up into something that probably won't go anywhere because we were in the past and it didn't work that time, and it's probably not going to work this time. And again, when you are a person who's like, I'm a very sexual person, like I really enjoy it. And so I'm in a space where I'm like, I don't want to keep doing that. Listen, Angie, here's the thing. So if you ever don't see what Angie said, she said maybe buy a toy. And that has been a consideration. My issue is, not only do I like the act itself, I love the after. I love the after. One of the things I miss most about my ex when it comes to intimacy was how we slept at night. He was really intimate after we actually had sex. The way he would hold me and scoop me in, like that man could not go like 10 minutes without holding me in some way. Like he brought me in his arm and he scooped me in, and that's how we slept until he got hot, and then he'd move me again, and then it'd be like 5 minutes without me and he'd scoop me back in his arms again. It was like my favorite time with him was at night because I felt protected, I felt loved, I felt safe, like I felt so many things in that moment. A toy isn't going to give me that because that's really what I desire. And so that's why for me, the random hookup and the random sex doesn't work for me because I actually love the before and the after. Like I want a man who doesn't mind just sitting with me and looking me in my eyes and just having that moment where we're taking each other in, where you feel safe, where you're looking into somebody's soul almost, and you're connecting in a way that's like this outer body experience that before you even touch lips or fingertips or any of that, you've captured each other. So by the time you touch each other, there's this like magnetic pull that pulls you in. There is something magical about that. And I want someone that I feel safe to do that with. You know what I'm saying? And the toy gives me the release, but it doesn't give me the intimacy. And that's what I crave about that human contact. That's what I crave about a relationship. It's that intimacy that to me elevates sex, right? It elevates it to another level. And that's why I can pick up my phone and get that. It's not hard. It's not hard at all, right? Like again, attention versus intention. There are plenty of men who have no problems showing me as attention, but it's the intentionality, it's the safety, it's the connection, it's that stuff that, girl, like I just cannot describe it. There is just something that pulls you into that person. That's what I want. That's what I miss. And again, it's that safety and that security to be with someone that you can share your deepest, darkest fantasies with, right? That it's almost that no judgment zone. It's just something that brings it to that next level. And I crave that. And I don't crave the, right? To me, that's just penetration, but I crave everything before and after. I appreciate the during. Absolutely, 100%, especially when you got the right man. And boy, oh boy, let me tell you, I've had some men that you want to loan them out. Listen, I have had some men that I was like, I should have somebody else to tap them in because this is so enjoyable. Like you want to call somebody up and be like, girl, it's your turn because this thing is so damn good. I have had, listen, where you are shouting from the rooftop, you need a moment, you got to catch a breath, you don't smoke, you might want to get a cigar. All of a sudden, you're just like, what is happening? I've had that type of sex. And if you have not had that type of sex, you are missing out. Where you want to literally tap somebody and be like, girl, it's your turn. You got to sample this. And there's something to be said when that is yours. Is something to be said when you're not borrowing it for the night, for the moment, for the hour. When you can have that over and over and over again, as opposed to just for that moment. And it's like, because sex to me is so much more than penetration, because sex to me means safety and security. Like I tie a lot into sex that isn't just the act. Lord, I love the act. Trust me, I am a Scorpio. I am a sexual woman. They said after 35 our sex goes up. Lord, I'm 43, let me tell you. It is next level. My ex used to be worn out sometimes. Like, girl, enough. However, he was mine. He was mine to have that with over and over and over again. It wasn't somebody that I borrowed, and then when it was done, it was this awkwardness. I don't know if you've ever had those moments where you've had a situationship, or whatever they calling them now, or a booty call, or a one night stand, or whatever it is, and like during the act, that shit's real good, but then after it's done, it's just awkward. So whether you're at his house or he's at your house, or you guys went to a hotel or whatever happened, it's this awkward thing because he's not yours and you're not his, and you may have wanted to snuggle after, but it's like, who's gonna jump in the car and go home or call an Uber? It's just, I don't want that. Like, it's just, it feels yucky. I don't know. Like, I think that just would be yucky for me. It's just that, like, I spent, almost 3 years with somebody that I loved immensely. I still love that man. I'm never going to ever pretend that I don't love that man. That man, I love that man and probably will love him until the day I die. I don't respect him, so we will never be back together after the stunt he pulled that I talked about a few weeks ago. I no longer respect him, so we would never get back together ever in life. But I love him. I loved him because I think he's definitely made me better for another man, right? The love I have for him, my heart didn't close when we broke up. It actually grew open. It grew bigger because I knew if God could give me the love I had with him, he was preparing me for a better love. And I think it's knowing that, and it's that feeling that I have about that doesn't want me to end up having random sex with just somebody to fill the moment with. Because there's a longing, there is, I don't know. Like, after you've lived with someone as we lived together for 2 years, that's, in Toronto, if we lived together, we would have been considered common law married, right? You only need to live with somebody for 1 year in Toronto to be considered cohabitate, like what common law, cohabitation laws or whatever they have. Like, we would have been considered married. In Toronto, that was a long time for a lot of people. 2 years to live and breathe someone. So to do that and then lay up in bed with a man who might want me to leave but doesn't know how to say it politely, like, bitch, get out my bed because I'm done with you. Like, that shit, men be thinking that stuff. They really do. They be looking over you when you're the random girl that they just had sex with and be like, when will this bitch leave? Like, how do I tell this bitch to go? And I don't like that word that much. I do actually. I like to call it bitch, a very different bitch than the bitch I just used. But my girlfriend Joanne's on. She knows I like to be like, bitch. But that's a different bitch than a man looking and be like, when will this bitch go? And men say that. I have enough men friends to know what they think. I don't want to be that random girl that he's like, she gonna put on her, like, ooh, gotta tell her, pretend I have a phone call or a meeting. Like, that's yucky. Because I just gave myself to you and you can't wait for me to leave because the euphoria of the moment has worn off. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. It's just like, Doug, y'all be, but so Doug, I'm going to call you after because you damn well know you lying. He said, true, but not all the time. Whatever, sir. Okay? Whatever. It is true most of the time. And it is gotta be, and a lot of us don't even recognize it. And that's the funny part. A lot of us as women don't recognize that there is that man or men you've had sex with who are just waiting for you to go. They will make any excuse because while our euphoria after sex may last a little while, theirs can be done as soon as they come. Doug, correct me if I'm wrong, because Mr. Football player there, Mr. Athlete, you know the deal, okay? Okay, you know what's up. That euphoria for men is, after that moment, it's done. While we're all up in la la land talking about, baby, let me go make you breakfast. Let me go cook you a meal. Let me go rub your feet. I'm going to make you coffee. I'm going to cook this freaking veal from scratch. His euphoria was done when he came. And you're up there in La La Land and he just wants you to leave. No, he does not want the water. He does not want the pineapple juice. He does not want the coffee. He does not want the veal. He just wants you to leave. I don't want to be that woman that a man wants to leave. And so the singleness is ruining my sex life. And I've got to do something about it. Now, it's not going to be like I'm not running into another relationship. And do I want one? Yes. Do I like being single? No. I think it's ghetto. I don't like it. I think it's real ghetto. I don't like it at all. What did you say? Okay, so Doug is saying depending on the situation, but that was more in the younger days. And that's true, right? A man of a certain age, a man of a certain caliber, yes, he may be in a space where that's not a thing, but there are plenty of men who have sex with us, that don't have feelings for us, that as soon as they've come, they're wondering when we will leave. And some of them are too nice to ask us to leave, but there's some who will very much be like, so I'm getting out of here. I've talked to guys who would like pretend that they have places to go, walk a girl out, put her in whatever, walk her to her car, and just basically go back upstairs because he was like, I was ready for her to go. Because he might have had a night appointment and she was the afternoon. Like, I don't want to be in a space where that's my life. Like, I don't want to be held by a man and he just wants me out of his space, because that's what I got accustomed to. And that's actually, yes, I live with the ex, and so clearly, you know, that's been the most recent experience, but that's been a lot of my experience. A lot of my experiences, the men I've been with, they want me to stay, they want me around. And so I'm in a space where, yes, I have womanly desires. It's been 5 months. I say to myself that I'm trying to figure out if I can last a year. I hope that I'm not just single out here with no significant other for that long, or anybody taking me serious. But if it is, because to me, sex for me has got to be tied to something more than the physical act. Because sex is just penetration. I want intimacy. I want that. Like, intimacy is the desire. It isn't the penetration. Because just like Anne said, I can get a toy and get penetration. Like, a toy can give me penetration. They be having these like real life looking toys. Like, I went to the sex store, and this was when I was in Phoenix with the ex. We went to the sex store, and there were some things that we were like, damn, these things be looking real as hell. Right? And so if I just want the insertion, I can get that. I can order it off Amazon right now. It will be at my door tomorrow morning, and I can have that. But I'm going to be honest with myself and say that's not what I want. It's the other stuff. I love waking up in the morning with someone. I do. I love looking over when I wake up in the night and I just look at somebody sleeping. Yes, I am that girlfriend, fiance, wife who literally watches you when you're asleep. I used to love when the ex would go to sleep before me because I knew his brain was calm. I knew his mind was calm. I knew he wasn't worrying about the woes of the world as a 6'9" Black man. That comforted me. Watching him sleep used to comfort me because I'm like, he's at peace. And that's all I ever wanted for him, was that he was at peace, because I experienced peace in my life. And as I've experienced, said to you before, his life was so chaotic that when he was sleeping, I knew he was at peace. I miss that. I miss watching somebody knowing they're at peace, because the world is hard for Black men. I would not trade being a Black woman for a Black man any day. I salute to Black men for what you have to go through in this world that has made you an enemy, to the point where us as your own women are making you enemies. I salute you, Black men. I would never want to be you. And so in a relationship, me watching my man sleep, me knowing that he's at peace, gives me a sense of peace I cannot even begin to describe to you. And so having random sex with random men is not fulfilling for me in that way. I don't know I don't know, ladies, can like, what do you do after you get out of a relationship and you are fiending for some peen? Because I'm not going to pretend that I don't want it. It's been 5 months and 1 day. I desire it. I want it, but I am not craving it. And there's also something to be said about being with a man who makes your vagina sing. Fellas online, there are men that make a woman's vagina, like, our vagina just sings to us. It speaks to us, right? Like, it's saying something to you, right? And it's like, girl, like, it's something to look at a man who walks into a room and he smells good and he looks good, and that is your man. And it just makes that shit quiver. Like your vagina speaks to you. It's moist. It's ready to go. It's like, girl, I can't wait. Like, I want that. I just don't want the man who's like, okay, you're good enough. I mean, you'll do. Yeah, you're horny, I'm horny. You've got a part, I've got a part. Let's put it together. And like, I just, yeah, ladies, I don't know. Can y'all do that? Because I don't know. Doug, what you saying? Oh, so Doug said it speaks to us too. It's like a dog whistle. Interesting. See, yeah, this is why I need the input of men, because the men be telling the secrets. I'm telling you, the show gonna change up when I have another man here to be telling all the secrets. Thank you, Doug, for coming and joining me tonight and telling me the secret. But that's attractive to me. There is, listen, ladies, yes, there are some women that we just have dry vaginas. I'm not one of those women, but I've heard that there's a condition where a woman's vagina is dry. But often your vagina is dry because you're actually really not that attracted to sexually, emotionally, spiritually to the man you're about to have sex with. He's a penis in your vagina. When you are like just in tuned with a man, when that man has this gravitational pull towards you, when this man can have sex with you with all your clothes on by just looking at your eyes, or he blows in your ear, or he touches your skin, or he just does something that just goes, ooh, that shit's a whole different type of sex. So Doug says that's why we love to make our women happy, because what is that? Because it's wet. Is that what that is? That emoji? Because you know I'm old, right? No, you know what I'm guessing that. That's like a waterfall. But here's the thing, Doug. What you just said is your woman, not some random that you're having sex with. Your woman. Like, I love to be someone's woman when they see me and they look at me and they just can't wait. Where you're texting each other and you're like, yeah, meet me in the bathroom, or can't wait to get you home, or you're driving and you pull over into a park. Like, I want that. I don't want momentary release of cum. But let's be real. Like, I'm gonna be real. I like to do the do. Like, there's a lot of things that I like to do that I can't just be doing with some randoms, right? Like, again, I am not doing a whole situation where, again, I'm either waxing, nearing, shaving, making sure that my pH balance is right. I'm giving myself a home enema. And if you know why I'm giving myself an enema, I can't be doing that for some random keen. I'd be up there, legs up, squirting stuff, making sure that everything is good back there for some random. That is way too much work. Randoms do not. I cannot. You know what, Doug? Hush. He said it's a tsunami. I'm done with you. I'm actually done with you for tonight. But yeah, it is just a different type of thing. But I don't know. Maybe I'm in a place in my life where maybe I don't know. Maybe I should have sex with randoms. I don't know. I don't know. But it just seems. Ugh. You know what I think it is? I like authenticity. I like things to be authentic. And to be honest, I can respect a man more if that man came to me and said, I'm just trying to have sex with you. I can respect that. I will respect a man more if he were to like, listen, I crave your body. I crave what I think your mouth can do. I crave what I think I can do to your body. And that's all we're going to be. I will take care of you in a way that you need to be taken care of, but the only desire that we're going to have, because I'm not giving you the relationship you desire, I'm not giving you the marriage that you desire, but I will give you part of the life you desire, but in exchange, I want your vagina. That's honest. That's an honest, that is honest. I think for me, it's the fakeness of some of this shit that we have to go through. Like, I will take an authentic man. I will take a man. And then at that point, maybe I'm giving her away knowing, but I would be knowing that that's not leading to something. But it's the other stuff. It's the bullshit that goes on when you're single and, you're trying to get something out of him. He's trying to get something out of you. I don't like that dance. I don't, because it just kind of feels yuck. It leaves one of you, and it's usually us ladies, because it's not the men. It's very rare that a man after sex, unless she was just like not his type and it was a drunken Vegas, Miami, New York night or something, where he was just like, damn, like my penis should have never. But that's not happening often. It's usually us. We feel just. And listen, the man could be fine as hell. The man could be desirable and everything else. He does not have to be unattractive or whatever. But you just feel after, because you gave him sex, wanting more, and there's never going to be more. And then you feel yucky after. And I don't want to give in to my desires for sex and then feel yucky after, knowing that I want a relationship, I want marriage, I want a commitment, and he wanted sex. And listen, guys will do the whole date. Like, I know men in my life that have no issues. They'll take me out. We'll go eat. We'll go party. We'll go do all of the things. They'll open doors. They'll treat me very well. But they don't want what I want. They don't want a relationship. Like, I'm very clear. I want marriage. That's what I want. I was very clear with my ex, and that's why we were engaged. And that's why we lived together. And that's why we went through that experience. That's why I wasn't some just woman on the side and whatever. We went through the process we went through because I made it very clear to him in the beginning, do not play with me, because this is what I'm looking for. And our relationship was going in that direction. But as you know, I wanted the man, but I didn't want what came with the man. And so we had to go our separate ways. And so I'm not going to then put myself, and I think that's the part for me, right? Like, I think for me, and I'm going to say it over and over again, the ex has ruined other men for me in that way, I think, because of the intentionality around the relationship. I know what it's like. I've experienced what it's like. I have been engaged 3 times and married once. My second fiance, after my husband, knew me for 3 months and proposed. I did not marry him because his life was also a little bit messy. And honestly, my dad liked him. Rest in peace, Daddy. But I didn't think he approved in the way that I wanted my dad to approve. And we're still close. We still talk. But we did not get married. And again, I think we met in April, the middle of April, the beginning of May, and he asked me to marry him in August. We were also long distance. I was in Toronto, he was in New York. 3 months. Got down on his knee, beautiful ring, and he proposed. My ex, who you guys know, we met within 10 days. We were in a relationship within 96 days of meeting. It was cohabitation, and lived together for over 2 years. To be exact, 2 years, 1 month, and 11 days. You guys know I love to be exact. And so, having met men in my life who were so intentional, my ex-husband, when I met him, he was stationed in England. We actually met on Black Planet many, many moons ago. This is how long you know it ago, because I got married in 2007. Right? Many, many moons ago, met on Black Planet. That's how I met my ex-husband. We met on Black Planet. And my man was in the Air Force. My ex-husband was stationed in England. I remember him reaching out to me by email one day. I had a really bad day. I told him I had a bad day. Can I tell you, the next day I got a phone call from a florist in Toronto. He had bought roses for me. He had bought a teddy bear and had sent a card to my home. They called me and said, we have a delivery for you. We need to know where to drive. Listen, I have been blessed in my life. And again, this was almost 20 years ago. I met my ex-husband in like 2004. We got married in 2007. So we're talking about almost 20 years ago. My track record when it comes to men has actually been really good in terms of men who are courting me and men who are intentional about me. I've had men who've taken me home shopping for very sizable homes. And so I've met men that are intentional. And here I am, and I've been experiencing that since I was in my 20s. So here I am at 43. What do I look like giving my coochie away so a man can just lay on top of me and do this? I want to do that. I don't want to do that. I would not encourage my daughter to do that. So what do I look like? Just letting a man just lay on me or behind me, just slapping away just because I had some carnal desires. Fuck no. I'm not gonna do that. It just it goes against everything I want. And I keep saying, and I'm gonna say over and over and over again, I speak to women on this show. I'm no longer in a situation where I can speak to men, right? Like I don't have a man beside me. That's what men do. Men speak to men, women speak to women. And so when this, my dear future husband, when you come into my life, you will be able to sit here and speak to the men, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, so Hazel. Okay. So Hazel is asking a question and I'm going to try to do it in 30 seconds or less. So the question is, they haven't tuned in a while. Why did me and my ex break up? So in simple form, we wanted different things in life. Our lives were going in different directions. I am a mother of one who is almost 22 years old. She actually will be 22 a month from today. He is a father of four. The oldest is 13. The youngest is 5, who he has with 2 different women. His life became too messy for me. It was drama filled. It just became too much for me to deal with. I was helping him raise one of these, the children, the oldest, that started having its issues because I was ill-equipped to raise her because she had some things going on with her that I couldn't deal with. And I asked him to, put her in therapy and for us to get therapy so I could help him do that. And then that didn't happen. And so I decided to leave and come back to Toronto. When I came back to Toronto, I realized how peaceful my life was. And the only time my peace was disrupted is when his ex-wife emailed me some nonsense after me blocking her from all of my social media because she had stalked me before, had shown up at our house, found out where we live, showed up several times. It was just a mess. And so she emailed me and I just was like, this is a lot, right? Like I bring peace and stability and safety and security to the men that I'm with, and I'm getting drama and strife. I have been cursed out. There's a lot of things that were happening that became too much. And as much as I love him and adore him, one, I was never going to be able to be a mother to his children because I was over that part of my life. And 2, his life just had become so untidy. And seriously, I don't think any man should be with a woman who does not want to raise his children. And I did not. I love him and I love the man he is. I didn't love everything that came with him. And I think that was completely unfair of me to be with him knowing that. So hopefully that kind of that is, you know what? That's a good Question. So Hazel's saying, so basically he didn't fight and do what we was supposed to do for his relationship. Here was the thing. I think he did, let me say, we did what was best for his relationship with his children. I know that being with me was not best for him to be the type of father that he should be. And as a daddy's girl, and as someone who grew up with my father, I love my father immensely. Again, rest in peace, Daddy. My father passed away less than a year ago. I know the importance of a father in children's life. And the women in his life were making it difficult for him to be a father while I was in his life, because he was having a public relationship with me that they had wanted to have. Well, the second mother of his children wanted to have with him privately. And that became a thing. And I didn't want to help him raise those children because I'm done. I've been raising my own child since I was 21. And so I told him, it is best for you to go off and be a good father, because I'm not interested in being their mother. If he were to get all his baggage under control, would you want him back? No. And that's, and I thought that would be more difficult for me to say, because this is like, the people ask me that all the time. I love him dearly. Loving him has made me a more loving person. My future husband is going to my future husband is going to get a better version of me because of the love I had for my ex. And for that, I thank him. However, I know that the life that I want and the life that he can provide me, they do not go together, because his life comes with me having to help him raise 4 children, and I had 1 child for a reason. And I would have not known that had we not lived together and had we not experienced the things that I experienced. And again, having to deal with women who listen, some of the messages that he used to get and some of the things that I would experience, I don't wish that on anybody else at all. I do not wish that on any ladies. If you're going to get with a man and you have children, make sure that your life is tidy. And men, if you're going to get with a woman and you have children that you guys don't have together, make sure your life is tidy, please. Because I don't think anybody deserves your baggage from previous relationships impacting your future. And his children are not going to go anywhere. And the mothers of those children, more importantly, are not going to go anywhere. And as much as I love him and I wish him nothing but the best, it's just not for me. But God, my love for him is going to make me a better wife for somebody else. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that, but I'm going to say that. My love for my ex is going to make me a better wife, because the way I was able to love him, I used to have a certain level of pride when it came to loving someone. And you cannot be proud in love. I remember writing in my book that when I fell in love with him, I stood in front of him, like with my heart in my hand, begging him not to drop it. Like, that's the type of love I have, where I feel like I was, get my books, No Handouts for Black Girls, and get my future book, Fuck Your Feelings, The Journey to Imperfect Love, that will be out next spring. But I talk about that love. The love I have had and have, because I still love him, but we'll never be back together. It was a pure, genuine love. And once you're able to love that way once, you're not afraid to love like that again until you get it right. And I think that, for me, it was beautiful. I wish everyone experiences that type of love. This raw, sorry guys, I'm actually a little under the weather. Surprised I've lasted this long. This raw, beautiful love. Hazel, you have a good question. Are you completely done? I'm done. because I have to be. The title of the show is Fuck My Feelings. My heart loves him. My head knows we can't be together at all. We've tried it. It didn't work. Again, different lives, different directions, different things. But that love for him is always going to be there. Because again, it's funny, until you love the way that I loved my ex, I don't think you truly understand the nature of love. It has no ego. I was not ashamed to sit here and talk about how things went left with my ex. I was not ashamed to talk about the fact that we were not together, because my love for him had no ego. I loved him purely and genuinely and with everything I had. And again, like I said, once you love like that, it makes you feel, to me, it's made me feel like it can fly and I can do anything. It's made me feel like I can do anything. And I think, coming back to what I was talking about, this is why for me, the idea of sex, just to have sex, once you've had that in your life, oh, I don't want it. I don't want it. Because once you've connected with somebody in that way, because disconnecting from him wasn't easy. It wasn't as if I was like, I'm done. We're over. My husband should thank him. I will thank him. My husband should thank my ex for breaking down a lot of the stuff that I had going on with me in terms of love. I openly love this man on this show. Openly. Without any pride, listen, I have gotten messages. You should see some of the messages that we used to get from people who used to say, oh, he must like abuse her because I know she's sitting there beside him just acting whatever. I've been called a pick Misha. I've been told he's definitely cheating on me because I'm like all of this. Me, this educated, refined, well-spoken, professional corporate woman. I used to be told some shit just because I loved this man, but I loved him genuinely and purely. And when you love like that, you want that. You want that again. Like, that's real love. Not some of this toxic, oh, I'm done with him, so let me go fuck somebody else, or I'm done with her, so they go see. No. This is why I haven't jumped on another dick. Because I can. I can jump on one right now. I can make a phone call. One phone call. And I'm on a dick at, what are we at? 9:26. I'll be on that dick at 10:35. He will come get me. Send me an Uber. I don't want it. I don't want it. Because there is an experience that you have when you genuinely can look at that person and feel them without touching them. Ladies, I want that for you. I want it where a man can make love to you without touching you. When you look at that man, when he looks you in your eyes, he's penetrating your soul and he speaks to your vagina through looking at you. That is something every woman needs to experience. And when I talk to women in their 30s and early 40s who've never had an orgasm but has had men on top of them doing this, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing with your life? What are you talking about? That is ridiculous. I ain't got no man on top of me just doing this shit. No. And yes, I'm gonna preach, right? Like, there is, we need to change the game. Ladies, I'm gonna talk to you until my future husband comes and he sit beside me on this couch and me on his couch. Like, I'm gonna talk to y'all. We need to change the game because we out here just having men sweat on top of us for what? Some of us ain't even getting money out of it. Say what you want about them prostitutes, but at least they getting paid. What are some of y'all getting? Talk about a relationship that you're never going to be in. You went to Applebee's. Maybe you went to Nobu because your man's. What you really get? What you get? You got nothing. You didn't get what you wanted, because I'm going to keep saying this. Ladies, we do not have sex with men we do not want to keep us. Stop the bullshit. We are not that hardcore. We are not. And though some of us could be, it's a very small percentage. But generally, larger population, most of us have sex with men we want to keep us. And then they don't. But then we keep having sex with them, thinking, oh no, but this time he's going to see. No, he's not. He's going to see shit. No, he's not. So stop. My ex has definitely spoiled me for the next man. He has. And I'm not going to sit here and say we had some out of this world amazing sex life where I was swinging off chandeliers, but the emotional connection and the intentionality and the intimacy and all of that we shared, I cannot have some next man just sweating on top of me or behind me or whatever just because I wanted some fucking penis. Because I'll buy one. If it comes to that point, I'll just buy one. Let me tell you what I want. I want to lay up under somebody. I want them to make love to my mind. I want them to look into my eyes and capture my soul. I want them to make love without touching me. I want to wake up and look at him and know that man is at peace because he's sleeping. Because again, as a Black man, it is hard in this world. And nothing brings me more joy than watching my Black man sleep peacefully. Mine's. The one I give my heart, my soul, my love, my energy, my time, my protection, because we protect y'all too, Black men. Watching my man sleep, you don't even know the joy that gives me. So having sex with a man, and after he comes, knowing that man wants me to leave or does not want me in his space, not after the love I experienced. And again, what my ex did after we broke up, that's what he did after we broke up. But while we were together for 2 months, 2 years, 8 months, and 2 days, that man loved me, loved my dirty draws. And he showed up every week and told y'all every week that he did, without question, because I took care of him. I supported him. I nurtured him. And he did the same. And so that, to me, I'll take that any day over some man just sweating on top of me. And after he comes, his euphoria is done. I want the man who takes me and grabs me when he's done and kisses me. Not the man who's like, oh, girl, thank you. I mean, your body's great and you're amazing. Thanks for these. But when's your Uber coming? Y'all can keep that. So my throat is now giving out. But again, being single is ruining my sex life. And I'm going to keep you guys abreast of how this goes. But it's been 5 months and 1 day. And I'm actually doing well. I'm not going to lie. I'm not over here fiending. I'm not over here doing any of that because I know what I want. I'm very clear on what I want. I want a relationship that leads to marriage. That's what I want. And I'm like swatting up, up, up. Miss me with that. I'm a matrix out of that when you're coming to me with some bullshit. So I've been matrixing, miss me with the bullshit because I know what I want. And there's some, listen, I get some shit on YouTube, boy. People be telling me on YouTube that, you know, I'm too old. People be telling me that at 43, I'm too old. I've been told on YouTube in the comments that ain't nobody trying to hear me talk because of my breasts, but apparently I didn't realize I was supposed to take them off because they're kind of on my chest and they kind of stay there every week, so nothing I can do. Listen, you should see. But thank you, YouTube people. I appreciate you. Bring my numbers up, subscribe. Make sure you also follow me on Instagram. Fuck Your Feelings, the show. Big up, big up. But it is interesting. But I know that the person that I am, the woman that I am, the man that is ready for me, he will come to me with what he needs to come to me. And listen, ladies, this is the last thing I'm going to say. Watch a man's actions and not his words. My 80-20 rule is a man is 80% actions and 20% words. 80% actions and 20% word. Why should you guys listen to me? I'm going to tell you why. Because I've dated a lot of the men you guys want to date or say you want to date. Y'all saw my ex. He was not the first of the type of men I've dated. Y'all saw him sitting here with all of his 6'9" ex-basketball, 2-degree having 6-figure job, at least when I was with him. I don't know what his life is like now. Man, my daughter's father is 6'7". My ex-husband is 6'5". My ex-fiance is 6'4". I don't know why my 5'5" ass keeps getting them. And I've dated athletes and CEOs and the men that you guys say that you want. I've dated them. I've been in the circle with them. My friends date them. Let's be very fucking clear. Those men will pre-qualify the hell out of us. So y'all be better figuring out how to pre-qualify them. I will absolutely, I'm actually simultaneously taping on YouTube. So thank you, Edwin Jones. You can actually go after this and watch it on YouTube because I also simulcast on YouTube because I got my iPad up there. Thank you to my ex who pays for still my phone and my iPad. Shout outs to him. Still paying for my bills, but I digress. But y'all need to listen to me. I've had them. I've had those men. I have had the men who make more than 6 figures, who have taken me shopping for $1 million homes. I have dated them. I know what they look like. I have dated the men in Miami who live in the penthouse condos. Y'all say you want them. They are not that easy to keep. They're not that easy to get. And you don't get them with your vagina. We do not. Do not listen to groupie tales or whatever they playing on Zeus TV or whatever them silly shows are, side chicks of fucking wherever. That's not how you keep those men. Now, y'all might be like, oh, you're sitting here single. Why do you know? I've also been married and engaged and have lived a pretty good life. I'm still living a pretty good life. I'm always going to live a pretty good life. I've been blessed. I've experienced a lot of things. Don't keep those men with your vagina. I didn't have the man that I had because of my vagina. We are not together, not because of crazy foolishness. I've never said a bad word about him. I never will, because he gave me a good life. Our life was just going in a different direction. But it wasn't my vagina that got him. We were together before we ever had sex. It took us 10 days to be in a relationship, and we're together for almost 3 years. 2 years, 8 months, and 2 days, of which 2 years, 1 month, and 11 days we lived together, and he took care of the house. We were together before we ever had sex. The 6'9" ex-basketball player, 2 having degree man, got with me before we ever had sex. It had nothing to do with my vagina. So keep thinking that your vagina is going to get you the man that you want. You are lying to yourselves. Your friends are lying to you. Your mama, your grandma, whoever is telling you, girl, your pum pum. I'm Jamaican, you should remember. So we say pum pum. Your pum pum is gonna get this man. No, it ain't. My pum pum never got any of the men that I got that y'all want. It was never my vagina. You know what got the men? My ears. I listened to them. I just used my words to encourage them. I allowed them to know that I was a safe space. Because I was a safe space. That's what got them, not my vagina. Like, I'm very serious. I'm very serious with women. I want every woman who ever watches this show, who ever encounters me, to have the type of love that I've had. And I'm telling you, you're getting the wrong message when you think that your vagina is going to get you the man that you want. Your vagina doesn't get it. Being a safe space for men gets you the men that you want. Caring about what a man has to say gets you the man that you want. You would be surprised how just listening, putting your ego aside, putting the boss, bad chick, bitch, whatever it is that you feel that you need to be, and honing your femininity, how that, my vagina has never gotten me a man I want. My vagina has gotten me some good looking men, but not the men that I wanted, not the men that were intentional about me. But a lot of us are doing it wrong. If we just stop and listen, a man will tell you what he wants, but most of us are not listening. I got my ex because I listened long before he ever got my vagina. So y'all need to figure it out. And so my ass is going to remain sexless as long as I'm single. Now, I'm going to say that today. I'm going to let you know if I fall off the wagon. I ain't going to lie to you. I never lied to you when me and the ex were together. I ain't going to lie to you now. It has been 5 months and 1 day. If I fall off the wagon for whatever reason, I'm going to let you know on that Tuesday. But I am holding out because I know what I want. And listen, the man who wants me, he'll understand what it means to have a woman who supports him, who listens, who cares about his needs, who feeds his soul. I love Black men. That's all I will date. Despite me being told I should be open to dating other men, I'm good. Black men, I love you. And I'm here to feed your soul. I'm here to listen to you. You can put down the armor at the door when you meet me, because we gonna fight it together, but you don't need to do it alone. Women, that's what we need to do for our men, because your vagina ain't no different than the next chick's. Yours can be tighter, wetter, or whatever the fuck we be thinking our vaginas. And listen, I think I have a great vagina. I've been told I have top class vagina. I've been told by several men and some women my vagina is top notch. I've been told my mouth, throat goat, all of the things. I've been told it. That don't mean shit, because there's another woman who gonna do better than that. So you gotta figure out the man that you want, how you gonna tap into that. That's all I'm gonna say. And thank you, Doug, for I'm gonna call you actually when I'm done. He said, amen. If the men are saying amen, and listen, the men tuning in are probably some of the men y'all want too. Y'all need to be looking in these comments and seeing what these men are saying. Because if I was talking shit, they wouldn't be here. So ladies, it's time to change the game. So I love you all. I gotta get off this show, but I appreciate you. Thank you on YouTube. Thank you so much, sweetie, for people who are watching me on YouTube and commenting. And thank you, Instagram. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Instagram, go to YouTube and subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, go on Instagram and follow Fuck Your Feelings, the show. I appreciate you. Until next week, I love you all. And goodbye.